don't know. Drama from the beginning. But anyways, this is what happens in life.
Look for ways to try to ease our minds, forced into a change. I guess it had to be this way. But do your best to try to stay away. The day they closed the world, we all went inside, looking for the light. The day they closed the world, we all realized what it means to try. So hold on to the love, don't you be afraid. There come a time when you will have your say, and don't forget to pray the Lord to keep us safe. We will live to fight another day. The day they closed the world, we all went inside, looking for the light. The day they closed the world, we all realized what it means to try. I can feel it coming, I can see it miles away. I can feel the sun of pride today. I can hear the laughter, I can see your smiling face. I can feel the love that's on the way. The day they closed the world, we all went inside, looking for the light. The day they closed the world, we all realized what it means to try. The day they closed the world, we all went outside, looking for the light. I can feel it coming, I can see it miles away. I can feel the sun of pride today. I can hear the laughter, I can see your smiling face. I can feel the love that's on the way. I can feel it coming, I can feel it coming. I can feel it coming, I can feel it coming.
Thank you to Love Planet for that beautiful video. If you can believe it, that came out when COVID first hit, and that's almost 18 months ago. Just in a few days, it'll be 18 months since the world closed. Getting close to 2 years now. I think we're all getting a little exhausted. I don't know about you. My name is Josie Herndon. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on Drama to Dharma. I actually started this show when COVID first started. Things started closing down in May so that we could communicate together, and I'd share these messages that I've been receiving for over a decade now from Archangel Gabriel. And it's something that I've kind of kept under wraps, if you will, for most of my life, and especially since I, really started getting clarity with it. And then I started opening up with the messages over the last 10 years and started writing a book that I pray that I finish by this fall. So tonight's show, we don't have a topic. It was put up this week, but without a topic. So it's perfect, Gabriel says, because the topic is whatever comes up. There's a lot to discuss, so it's hard to put it all into words. He says words are just irrelevant at times like this. Today is a very energetic day, he says. There's a lot of emotions in the planet. There's so much that I think everybody's feeling today, August 26th, on the planet. If anybody's watched the news, which I usually don't, but today I was watching it, and it was very sad. It was very sad to see what's happening to our fellow humans in Afghanistan, and because we're all humans and we're all here together with the same red blood, the same breath that comes. If we're not breathing, we're not alive. If we don't have our heart beating, we're not alive. So in so many ways, we are one, connected. So when there's so much distress in one place, then we feel it, whether we know it or not, even if you feel tired and you don't know why. So it could be that. And of course, other things that are globally. There's a collective conscious that we have, Gabriel says. And as a collective conscious, things pop up. And it's from the collective. And right now, there's just so much of that he wants us to focus on the higher consciousness, so that if we can raise our vibration tonight, and he says that helps the planet, and in turn helps the universe, then that's what we can do. Because people say, I feel so helpless. That's part of why we as humans, Gabriel says, we feel sad about this, because we feel helpless. So what can we do? And he says, well, there's a lot we can do, because everything's energy, and that's what we're feeling. So if we can figure out a way to muster up, a way to raise our vibration and share that with the planet and share that with the universe, he says it actually helps. It's hard to believe, he says, and sometimes it's hard for me to believe, but I just go by faith and say, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to switch my vibration. And my mom and I was telling Deb, we were talking before the show, and I just said switch, and my husband knows that term switch, because my mom and I, she has Alzheimer's now, so she doesn't really remember much, but in earlier years of my life, we would talk about something that we didn't want to talk about, or that wasn't, happy or whatever. So we would just say switch that quickly. We start going down a rabbit hole in our conversation, and we would just say switch. And that quickly we'd switch our conversation. So I've been doing that since I was young. And so I'm just going to encourage everybody. I mean, it's the same thing as pivoting, but we can, pivot, switch as soon as we can, and try to raise the vibration with a thought that is more pleasant than the one that we're feeling. There's a lot of grief right now. We had, as you all know, and you'll see the sponsorship, ATS, our Advanced Therapeutic Services, the treatment center that my husband and I, Jim, own, and we treat behavioral health clients and addiction clients. And there's just so much of that right now. And we had a beautiful young client who chose to transition yesterday. And so he did that, and so he's no longer with us, and so that would be the same thing as suicide, right? He decided not to be here anymore, and I don't know why. Nobody knows why, of course, because everybody's different. So that's heavy on my heart. That came up this afternoon. So I'd like to send beautiful prayers to him and to his family, and so it's I do the show because I love Gabriel and I know his messages are beautiful. And like I said tonight, we don't have a topic, so we're just going to kind of speak freely, as he says, when we're channeling. He'll ask our audience, or he'll ask people that we're talking to, if you have questions, please put questions up on the chat and in the comment section for Gabriel, and then we'll answer the questions. Or he can speak freely until there's questions. Then he'll just speak freely to what he believes needs to be spoken about. And so that's what we're going to do tonight. That's our plan, non-plan, which is a good thing. I know that Debbie had asked if we can start out with talking about the 4 agreements. That's something that I did. I'm sure most of you, if not, have gotten the book and read it. It's a nice little book that doesn't take long to read, but it's very powerful, by Don Miguel Ruiz. And I started my spiritual journey on a journey with Don Miguel Ruiz and his group of Toltec teachers up at the pyramids in Mexico 20 years ago. And that's when I first heard about the 4 agreements and actually did a practice up there. That was very cool. So I'm just going to go over the 4 agreements to remind everybody, and maybe we could delve into them a little bit. The first agreement, be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. So that's beautiful. So we're going to ask Gabriel to talk a little bit more about that as well, being impeccable with your word, and what does that mean? He says also being impeccable with your word is being impeccable with your true self and who you are. That's what Archangel Michael talks about, is being what truth is. People say, what is truth? Or how is it that I speak the truth? What does that mean to speak the truth? So speaking the truth is speaking your truth, they say. So being impeccable with yourself and who you are and your life's purpose, and through that you will speak impeccably. Your words will be impeccable, because sometimes if you may say things that other people want to hear, and they may not be the truth of who you are, so that's not being impeccable with your word. Yeah, that's a good one to unwrap, right? So it's like, wow, again, he says words are only translation. I mean, words are just words, are meaningless. Everything is energy. So if energetically we have a truth about ourselves, and we just can't find that truth to come out of our mouths of who we are and just in our being, then things will happen. And perhaps that's why when people decide not to be on the planet anymore, they're not being impeccable with who they truly are. And so therefore they can't even speak any words anymore. And therefore they lose hope to want to be here. That's a possibility. When you're not in alignment with who you are, then you can't be impeccable with your word. It's all about, everything is about our alignment with who we truly are, and who we truly are is our eternal being, our spiritual being, our light being, our light self. That's who we truly are. And whenever we feel that we're off course with that, that's when we're not feeling good. That's when we get depressed. And so all these things that I've been witnessing on the news today, and this news that I got on the phone, all of that is so out of alignment with who I am, and it's just made me very sad. And Gabriel says that's fine, because we're human. So of course we're going to be compassionate, and we're going to send prayers, and we're going to try to work on raising our vibration during this time. As he's saying it doesn't sound like it's the right thing to do, but it is. It's the best thing to do, is to raise our vibration. We're not saying to celebrate by any means. I mean, we can, and we could go out and have fun, but if somebody's grieving, you're not going to celebrate, but you can still energetically raise your vibration so that you can also, in turn, that other people will also feel that love. And it could be a vibration of love and compassion. That's a beautiful vibration. Love and compassion without words. Fewer words, the better, he says, during times like this, when we're trying to raise the vibration, because sometimes words will get in the way of a true conversation. So a true conversation many times he says, has fewer words. So if you don't know what to say, if you're not in alignment with who you are, don't say anything. It's best not to say anything, he says. And we write about that in the book. We have a chapter on that where we talk about the word and how powerful our words are. So that's what Gabriel's saying about the first one. And the second agreement, don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. Wow, that's beautiful. That's the one I always forget when I'm trying to remember the 4 agreements. I can never remember one agreement, and I know it's that one. Don't take things personal, because that's so human nature of us, is to take things personal. Because we're personal. It's us. Personal means us. So just like he's saying that others are, speaking and doing things based on their own dream, their own reality, so are we. And so when they're talking to us, we assume that they're in the same vibration that we are. And that's when we take it personally, because we assume that they're talking about us, and that they mean, even if they say they're talking about us, even if they're saying it to us, he says, it doesn't, he says 90% of the time, it doesn't have anything to do with us. Even if it's a straight conversation face to face with somebody talking, he says, a lot of times, most of the time, that is their own dream. It's a beautiful way that Miguel Ruiz says that, Don Miguel Ruiz. It's a dream. Drama to Dharma, Gabriel says it's a drama, it's a theater, it's a show. That we talk about life being kind of theatrical in a sense. But if we can pull back a little bit and look from that vision, from that vantage point of life being a dream, life being, and just know that we just, love. Love's the only thing that can break those barriers to where we don't take it personal. Gabriel's saying is, if we can love each other and just see each other from the eyes of love and beauty. So if somebody could be sitting there and going, yeah, 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 yeah. So that's all you're going to hear. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't hear the words. He says, just go in your mind. If it doesn't make sense to you, then don't. Try to figure it out. And then, we don't take it personally. We just go like, okay. So then you can kind of switch the conversation if it's something that's not in alignment with you, or we can kindly walk away and say, okay, I'm not, really feeling this conversation right now. So maybe we can table it for 3 days. Jim always talks about the 72-hour rule, and I've tested it. It really works. It works well. Where if something comes up and you're taking it personal and you're upset with somebody else, just put it on the shelf for 72 hours. And almost every time you come back in 3 days, it resolved itself magically. The angels, God has resolved it. The universe has resolved it. And it's not even that important anymore. Most of it was just things that we were feeling, that our story, our dream. So that's a little bit on taking things personally. The third agreement is don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstanding, sadness, and drama. With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. So don't assume. You know what they say about that? I'm not going to say. I know there's something they say. I don't even know. I probably wouldn't say it right. But anyways, don't make assumptions. When we make assumptions, we're guessing. It's not true. We're making stuff up about the story. So he's saying, if we can just cut that part out by assuming. So they're talking about having a conversation with clarity. So when we do speak with clarity. Just like we were speaking to a child in a sense. Because right now we're all children. So, and children absolutely need that clarity. They are so concrete. So everything they hear is absolute. So if we can be clear in our conversations, especially if it's something that's important, then there shouldn't be any room to make assumptions or misunderstandings if we can speak as clearly and as possible. And if you're not hearing it clearly, rather than make an assumption, ask questions to clarify it. Say, I'm confused. I get that from a friend of mine, Stamp, who's, always, he already knows the answer. He says, I already know the answer, but I'm going to ask the question. And I'm going to start out with, I'm confused. He just didn't have it clear from the other side. So he's going to get some clarity on it. So he's not going to make assumptions. He's just going to start out the conversation with it. He's confused. Okay, like that, even though he already says he knows the answer, but we won't go there. Okay, I like that tactic, though. It's pretty good. Now, the other one is the fourth agreement, the beautiful fourth agreement. Always do your best. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick. Under any circumstances, simply do your best, and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and self-regret. Yeah, I love the way he's so clear about that. He talks about that. It's true. Self-judgment, self-abuse, self-regret. Boy, don't we go there, right? We go there, that self-abuse. And when all we have to do is the best we can. The best we can. And let people know that too. Say, you know what, I'm doing the best I can, if it's appropriate to say it. But when you're truly doing the best you can, authentically doing the best you can, then everything else it's just going to be what it is. You can't do more than your best. So that's really asking you to step up as a human, asking all of us to step up and do the best we can. We know when we're doing the best we can or not. We know when we've kind of like slacked off and didn't do it. If we're supposed to do something and we just blew it off, that's not really doing the best we can. But we can own it if that's, instead of arguing with somebody, that's saying, oh, well, you didn't do this. Just own it and say, you know what, you're right. I did not do the best I could today. I'm really sorry. I just couldn't. I didn't have it in me today. I was tired. I was overwhelmed. And I'm going to try to do better tomorrow. And that's what we can do. We can try to do the best we can. And literally just take, it's like taking some weight off of us so that we don't feel like we have to do more than the best that we can do. That's a lot to try. There are a lot of times when, you're trying to do more than what the best that you can do. And that's when we get overwhelmed. That's when we have anxiety. We don't feel like we're doing it the way other people want us to do it. And none of that matters if we do it the best we can. There are 4 simple agreements, but boy, are they powerful. So I encourage you to buy the book. It's a practical guide to personal freedom. And I've been buying these, giving them to everybody. Our clients at ATS, we would give them to them. So it's a really nice little book to have on your nightstand, and it's a good reminder of simple things that are powerful. And most things that are simple are the most powerful, Gabriel says. So I'm going to look here to see if we have any questions. Debbie, can you pull up a question? I see there are some. And that's nice. Okay, I'll read it. Let's see. Please discuss the process of changing our thoughts, raising our vibration, and walking with the angels, our ancestors, and God. Okay, that's a great big question. I love it. And it was perfect that we started out with the 4 agreements because it took care of a lot of it. Oh, thank you. Please discuss the process of changing our thoughts, raising our vibration. So changing our thoughts, we talked, well, isn't that funny? Yeah, we talked about that switch, changing our thought switch. That's the easy one. Again, Gabriel says easy and simple is the most powerful at times because it's easy to remember. So you can remember switch or pivot and just, change your thoughts. Simply raise your vibration. The way I raise my vibration is to step into anything that's joyful. That's the quickest way. Start laughing, dancing, playing music. I mean, playing some fun, high vibration music, disco, silly, whatever it is, that is the best way for me to raise my vibration. Some rock and roll, whatever your favorite music is so powerful to raise your vibration in a quick way, right? You just put the music up, whether if you're in your car, instead of listening to the news channel, put it on your favorite music, and then just raise your vibration that way. Start singing and dancing, right? You can dance and sing, you know, Aretha Franklin. Somebody was telling me the other day, that's what they do in the morning. It's like, yes, you're only going to do that by yourself because who has her voice, right? But you can believe you have it when you're singing it because you just, that vibration is in alignment with you. So the fastest way is through fun music and laughter, jokes, anything, silly jokes. I mean, I'm not a joke teller because I can never say it correctly, ever. I just always mess it up. But I know people who tell really good jokes and they're funny. So if you know somebody who could tell a good joke, or you know, anything that's going to raise your vibration and bring joy, pictures of family that, you know, you love to see, it's going to raise your vibration. That's a quick way to do it. And walking with the angels. We have a chapter that we're writing about that is walking with God and walking with the angels. And it's as easy as just asking them to be there. They only need to be invited. That's it. Once they're invited, they're here. They're here, and they will give you the answers. They will poke at you. They will do different things. I mean, if you look for signs, if you're like wanting to have some fun and just kind of ask some questions and look for answers, you're going to find them. And even through the music, you'll get the answers. Through each other. As humans, we give each other answers. They speak through us without even knowing it. You'll hear somebody say something, and it's just going to hit it right there. And you're going to know that that's it. So walking with the angels are always here walking with us. All you have to do is invite them so that you could feel that cozy feeling, Gabriel says, of knowing that the communication is going both ways. They love it. They love it when we communicate with them because they're always trying to communicate with us, they say. So all we have to do is invite them in, and they're right there. Our ancestors are there. If you have an ancestor specifically that you'd like to call on that ancestor. You'll know when they come. You'll know when they come. You'll get that feeling, that beautiful feeling. Sometimes they'll come and you'll feel their presence in a hummingbird. Sometimes you'll feel their presence in birds. Birds are the best way. And Jody knows that. His mother comes through a bird. So there are, you know, beautiful ways that they come and speak to us, our ancestors, because they know when our hearts are heavy. And they know, all the ancestors and the angels, everybody on the other side, they know we all chose to be here. We knew what we were coming into, all of us as humans. So when we realize that, it makes it a little easier because we all agreed to this story that we're, this dream that we're in right now. We all agreed to do this so we could raise the vibration of the planet and complete the reason that we're here. Isn't that beautiful? We all knew this. We were going to be here together. So that's something Gabriel just showed me right now. And that's really nice to think about, that we, you know, we all agreed and we all knew. So let's see. And walking with God. Now, walking with God, oh, that's such a beautiful, beautiful, that's what the last chapter in the book is called. Don't walk alone, walk with God. And I haven't written that yet because I'm excited about writing that one. But I know that I've had experiences in my meditation and prayer when I can feel God's presence so strongly that it brings me to tears because it's so beautiful, peaceful. So in your prayer and meditation, when you can quiet yourself down and really ask God to reveal himself to you, his peace and love, because that's who he is, it will be so beautiful and possibly a little overwhelming because, you know, he's creator. He's he who has no name and he who has every name, according to Gabriel. He who has no name and he who has every name. That's God. so we can walk with him anytime. He's always there. It was a beautiful question. Thank you, Debbie, for that. Let's see, what's the other one? Is that, okay, that one came up. That was the big one. Yes, I'd have many of them. How do people maneuver through the polarity at this time? Gabriel says, not very well. If you're being specific, how do people maneuver through the polarity? Currently, a lot of people aren't maneuvering very well, he says. So if the so he's kind of making it funny, it's like that he was, it's like, how are people doing? Okay, how can people walk with it through polarity? Would be another question we can ask now. Is that he'll say polarity is the duality. Everything has two sides, right? You can call it however you want: duality, polarity, dark, light. Lower vibration, higher vibration, he did that, she did that, however polarity is, it's the opposite. They're the opposite sides. They're two different sides, but they're always here, and we all have it. We all have a polarity. Today I was in a polarity when I was in a dimension of watching the news and feeling the energy. I was in a different space than I am right now, having Gabriel share messages with you. That's polarity. So Gabriel says the best way to do it is bless and release what doesn't serve us, bless and release it, and jump up and switch to the energy that serves us, like we are now. We're going to have it. It's part of life. It's part of this planet. So the best way to maneuver through it is to hop out of the side that we're not feeling comfortable in and get into your spiritual practice, whatever that is for you. If you weren't practicing spirituality, God, the essence of God, the essence of the divine, you wouldn't be watching the show right now. So hop into the essence of the divine, he says. The essence of bliss. That's how we can maneuver through the polarity, where it's like we're sitting on this magic carpet of bliss. Right? That's what he's saying, of divine. Just hop on. And that's how we can maneuver through this. And then bless and release the thoughts. So that way they're not interrupting our divine experience when we are in our spiritual practice, whether that be yoga, prayer, meditation, church, chanting, singing, whatever it is that can bring you to that spiritual practice daily, whether it's reading an affirmation book, reading the Bible, reading the Quran, reading anything that's going to bring you into your spiritual practice, he says. That's how we can maneuver truly through the polarity of life. Thank you for that question. Okay, let's see. We have, I think those were the two beautiful questions. Thank you so much for those questions. They were absolutely, let's see here. My heart is with you, Jody, and I love you too. Oh, you guys are, okay, this is a private conversation, sorry. That's nice. That's a private chat. Well, let me read the private chat since today we don't really have an agenda. No, I'll just put it out there what everybody's saying. I'm kidding. Let's see. I will read what Jody put. He put switch, changing a negative situation into a beautiful opportunity, ruling my own summertime sadness. I love you, Josie and Gabriel. Thank you, Jody. I love you so much. Jim and Debbie too. I've completed 3 children's books and entertaining illustrators. Can't wait to share Healing Through Love. And that is beautiful. Congratulations that you've completed your 3 books. Yes, we're going to have to get you up on the show here so you can share with everybody your books. That would be amazing, because those books are exactly what we need. Children's books are perfect for the children, but the adult who's reading them are also getting the benefits and the joy of the book, because we all need that. So it's perfect to encourage, the adults to do story time with their children and bond through these books together. Because I'm sure that the children's books for years have been a wonderful way for adults and children to bond through story time and storytelling. And that's something that's been missed with the internet, because there's not a lot of, I know the books, who knows, they might be digital, but if you could just, if we could encourage each other to also read regular books or just feel them energetically in our hands, that's really good, because that's something that's kind of being missed right now. With all of the technology that's imposing on our lives. We're blessed with the technology, but it's nice, he's saying, to also turn the technology off and read a book, talk to your family members, eat dinner together without technology, go for walks, something I haven't done in a while that I really want to get back into doing. We should do it daily. Just throwing that out there because I know that I haven't done it. Things like that when you're trying to unplug. So unplugging is huge. What is the best way to tap into our angels? Very good question. And that's a beautiful question that's come up twice tonight. Gabriel loves it, so he's going to delve more into that. Tapping into them. Tapping into them. Asking, inviting them. Talking to them, he says. Talk to your angels. Talk to Gabriel. Gabriel's saying, talk to me. I'm here. He's there with you. Part of what we're writing about is that we are God's paintbrush. The angels use us as a paintbrush. When we're playing our instruments, if you're a musician, when we're writing our books, the children's books, they're speaking through us. Invite them in, and they're right there, ready to share information with the world through you, whether it be through your creativity. That's the best way, through art, music, writing, language, song. So being with your angels is just an invitation away. All you have to do is invite them. Now, if you want to know a little bit more about how I've done it, and Gabriel says this has been a wonderful practice for me, just to kind of settle the energy down, to bring, to invite them in, is I would light a white candle. There's so many beautiful white candles that are scentless. If you're sensitive to scented candles, get those ones that are just don't have a scent. White candle, white flowers. They can be live flowers, just a couple flowers. They don't have to be expensive. But white flowers, invite them in with the white candle. And then that's just like it's almost like when, if you're having a romantic evening and you have red flowers and red candle out for dinner. What is that invitation? So if you put white candle and white flowers, you're inviting the angels in for a blissful evening. An intimate, blissful evening with the angels. Isn't that beautiful? And then you play your beautiful, soft music, whatever that is for you. And then you connect with them energetically. Close your eyes and feel them. It's a beautiful way to invite them in and to be with them. And you can start out with doing that once a week on a Saturday night or a Sunday night, and then do it, daily if you want, whenever. They're always here. But when you kind of put something together for them and invite them in and spend some time with them, you're going to get messages quickly. And you're going to feel the peace. The first message you're going to get is of peace. All of a sudden, the energy in your home will just go down or go up. not down, but I mean, he's like, it's all energy, but it's going to go soft. If it's heavy, it's going to go soft. So that's a great way to connect with the angels. And I hope that you know, you can experience that this week. That's what Gabriel's saying, is try it. Try putting something soft together in your home, in your space where you're at, in your room, at night, if you want. And even if it's at night and you just want a little white light candle, they have the ones that aren't fire candles that are safe, so that in case you fall asleep, you can do those. Those are the ones I use. I use those a lot because I would burn my candles down to the bottom where, thank God, I never burned the house down. I'd be like, oh, shoot, I forgot. So now I don't have to forget. And, you know, they have all these great candles you just put batteries in. Those are nice. So that just softens up the energy and the space for healing and love and the divine and the angels. The angels are very close to the earth right now. They always are, but right now they are so, Gabriel's saying, they're just like on their mission at this moment. They're so busy with filling hearts with love and compassion for the grieving hearts. So put energy out for those. He says if we can energetically, in our prayers and meditation, we don't have to say the details. God knows what they are. So we don't have to think about the visions that disturb us, but we can just ask for them to be, for those who are suffering. We don't have to visualize it. We don't have to say much. Just energetically send them love and light as a collective conscious. Energetically send them. Send to each other. I'll send to you and you send to me this beautiful love and light with your eyes closed so there are no distractions. That's the collective conscious of light and love that'll break all barriers. Those are the fun things to do when we're alone or with family. And if not with family, it's okay, because they'll feel our energy. They'll know something's different. Before I got on tonight, I was a little, 7:43. I must have been a little stressed. I don't think I was breathing right or something, because my watch told me I had to breathe. I was like, well, thank you, watch, for reminding me to breathe. I was kind of holding my breath. Sometimes we just hold our breath and we don't even know it. I mean, we're holding our breath. It's like we're holding on tight. So loosen it up. Breathe. Just loosen it up and breathe. That's how we're going to maneuver through this polarity that's right in front of us always. All the changes. Again, we started the video about the day the world closed, and it just hasn't reopened yet, has it? I mean, personally, I love being home now. I don't know about you guys, but I love being home. It feels so good. When I go out there, I am just not that comfortable anymore. You know, I just think it seems like a lifetime ago before this COVID hit, the coronavirus and all of this. So I like being home and I like working from home, but we are going to, you know, go out and see each other again and have a good time and be careful. We're just going to do it differently, and that's okay, because we're all in this together. We're all in this together. The same rules apply, and some just can't. You know, some deal with it better than others. There are a lot of people struggling right now with the changes, with not being able to pivot. They can't pivot. They can't. So they're struggling. So if we're able to pivot and switch, we can help them. Gently help them to pivot and switch by being kind to them and loving That's the best way. That's the best way to reach each other, is through kindness and love. Kindness and love right now. Even if it's in our dreams and our thoughts for each other. No judgment with each other. At least we can judge ourselves. Gabriel says, forgive ourselves so we can forgive each other. Know that everything is perfect and that we are all perfect, he says, always. Always, regardless. Everything's exactly as it should be. Everything is exactly as it should be, as odd as that might sound. Yes, that is an odd one for me sometimes to think about, that this is how it should be. But when I can get myself there, it is easier, right? Knowing that we're perfect. Our loved ones are perfect. Oh my goodness. If we can throw love on our loved ones, right? And not judge them, our kids, our family members or friends that, aren't in alignment with what we think should be, just shower them with love. Shower them with love. You'll feel so much better, because everything we give out, we get back in return. So if we shower them with love, guess what's going to happen? We're going to get all that love back. It's going to come right back. How beautiful. If we shower them with anger and judgment, we're going to get that right back, and that doesn't feel good, but it's human nature. So we could remember to just shower them with energetic love and with love. And if there's a topic that is burning inside that you want to talk about, but it's not in alignment with who you are, table it for 72 hours, for 3 days, and then see where you can come from in 3 days. Perhaps it's even just cooling off period. And then you can talk about it without judgment and spite. Because everything is vibrational. Everything is energy. And we get pulled into these different dimensions of energy. So if we can just, as much as possible, try to stay in that highest vibration by our spiritual practice, practicing our spiritual practice, as Gabriel was saying, as much as possible. Being a good person, picking up, I used to say picking up trash, but I don't think that's good right now with COVID. But, doing the right thing. Don't throw the trash down on the floor. That kind of stuff. Doing the best you can. Going back to the beginning of our talk and the 4 agreements, right? Doing the best we can, staying impeccable with our word. Don't take things personally. And don't make assumptions. I always know the one that doesn't roll right off my tongue, I'm having an issue with that, So that could be a fun little game that you play. Try to remember the 4 agreements and then try to say them. And the one that doesn't roll off, maybe that's something you need to dig a little bit deeper in. There's always one. I don't know that I've ever, remembered all 4 of them at the same time. But again, no judgment, just something we might need to, kind of work on ourselves. And again, back to it being about us and not them. About what's going on with ourselves when we feel like it's about somebody else, right? They're in their dream, we're in our reality in our dream. And everything's energy, so we will align together when we're in alignment. When we're in the same vibration, that's when we're going to really gel together, right? So, we just have to kind of look at what's going on with ourselves so that we can, in other words, it's not about the other person, Gabriel says. It's always just about us. Like you, like me. It's about how I'm feeling. Am I in alignment? Not judging somebody else's alignment. That's the worst. He says, please, that's the worst. Don't ever judge. Try not to judge other people's spirituality. That's like so far off base, he says, because we can barely even figure out our own, right? Let alone try to, but we can give love and compassion and then probably be in the same vibration with each other if that's where we're coming from, truly coming from a place of love and kindness and compassion. I know all of this is beautiful, soft words, but everything Gabriel talks about is beautiful and soft, truly. Because that's that energy. And it makes sense. You know, it feels good, I hope. And if it doesn't feel good for you, he says, that's okay too. Just anything is better, right? Anything is better. Like, if you're feeling depressed, anger is better than that until you can get to a place of, you know, possibly joy. That's all fine too, as long as your, you know, intention is to pull up your energy and asking, how can I bring up my energy? It's a great question. And just turn on the music and do it. Dance, laugh, if you can. Be silly. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I'm thinking of some ridiculous things I won't say them because they were just, I mean, some of the stuff that I see on Zoom is just amazingly ridiculous when I'm in like this meeting with a bunch of people and watching them in their personal lives. I mean, we're miles away, states away from each other, the other side of the country, and I know more about these people now than I ever did when we were in person because of their homes, their personal habits. I don't know. It's just ridiculous sometimes. And we are. So let's not take ourselves so seriously. We're all so human. And that's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. And I needed to hear this message because most of this is coming straight from Gabriel. And it's nice. It's a good reminder. So I don't know if we have any other questions or comments, but this was a very beautiful show tonight for me. I hope it was for you because it was us talking and Gabriel speaking freely through me with a lot of these messages tonight. That gentle, peaceful energy. That love. Compassion, he keeps wanting me to say. Just a reminder. Julie, Rose, thank you. What a beautiful name. Rose. Beautiful last name. You're the flower. You are the flower. You know you've heard that before, but you are the flower. So that's amazing. You are the rose. And the rose is so special. Just beautiful. Well, our sponsor tonight and every night on our show is Advanced Therapeutic Services. And that's our treatment center that in Rancho Mirage, California. So I want to thank them for sponsoring anything that I do. And I'm going to have Debbie show us a little video, and then we're going to wrap up with a few more words from Gabriel. So that's ATS. We're in Rancho Mirage and we're outpatient. We also have telehealth. So if there's anything that we can do to help you or somebody you know, you can go to our website, atsiop.com, and we will help you. You can talk to Joy, which is another beautiful word, name, Joy, happy, happiness. And let's see, I think Rose had said something else that her mom named her, picked a beautiful name. Yes, she did. I didn't, yeah, that is absolutely your mother's perfect thing she did for you, Rose. I know your first name's Julie, but I love it. Let's see, Debbie says, my heart is with you. Joe, oh, there we go again. And I love you too. Everybody on the private chat is, sending lots of love. And I see Carly here, and lots of love to Carly. And thank you for joining tonight. Let's see, Gabriel wants to end it with one more little message for you. Oh, good evening, everybody. Josie has done such a beautiful job of translating our message to you. But we want to give you one through our voice that comes through her. We want you to take the time this evening, if you can, and ponder and think about, if you can, if you're willing to do this homework assignment for us, and ask us a question, the angels. Ask us a question. If you can spend a few minutes by yourself and ask us what you love. Ask us, and we will answer you. Many of the questions tonight has been, how do we connect with you, angels? And we want you to know all you have to do is ask us. That's all. We're waiting. You don't even have to say it verbally, just in your mind, in your energy flow. And we will give you those answers. And in the meanwhile, if you'd like, we can nurture you while you're sleeping tonight. We can nurture your body. You can ask us to do that. You can ask us to help us to sleep the whole night through with zero pain, with zero discomfort, with all comfort. A good night's rest. We can show ourselves to you through your sleeping. Ask us for that tonight, and it shall be yours any night. And we love you dearly. We are complete. So their message to you is to ask and receive. Ask and receive. That's it. That's all you have to do. And I love you so much, all of you. So have a sweet night with the angels. And until next week, lots of love.